Guinea fowl are native to Africa and are not as domesticated as chickens. They're fairly hardy, less prone to disease. The proper term is guinea fowl, not guinea hens. The hens are the females, the cocks are the males, though we often hear them referred to as a whole as guinea hens. We bought 4 guinea keets about 6 months after we got our first chicks. Our original intention was to have guineas for tick control on our then heavily wooded property, but they were not available in winter, being seasonal layers. The French guineas have a longer season, but I didn't want those since they only come in the pearl gray, so we waited and got the chickens first. We had a pearl gray female, 2 lavender males, and a lavender female, though it takes a bit of time to find out the sex of your guinea keets. Usually you find out by the size of their wattles. They pair up. Unlike chickens, males take mates, 1 or more depending on how your ratio of male to female is. They were first brooded in the basement bathroom, then went out to the coop with the pullets and were made to stay inside an area under the nest boxes for a couple weeks longer. Guineas must imprint on their home so they don't leave when you let them out for the first time. We installed their own higher-up bar inside the coop for them, as guineas prefer to roost higher than chickens, generally, and we added floor-level exterior nests because guineas are also ground nesters. All as well as they grew. We loved guineas. Yes, they're very, very noisy, worse their first year than later, but that didn't bother us much. If you live close to neighbors in a suburban setting, you may want to rethink guineas. They do have a special kind of intelligence, as I say it. Some call them stupid, but they just don't seem to process information the way chickens do. They forage like a little army, and they will find more of their own food after the initial brooding period of high-protein game bird starter than chickens will. If you want them to stay alive, you must lock them inside at night, or owls and such will pick them off one by one. They love white millet and the seed heads of pasture grasses, and of course ticks. Ours were handled quite a bit. They were very tame, as you can see from some photos. You have to handle guinea keets a lot to tame them down, because they are, as I said, they're not as domesticated. As you can see in some of the pictures, they are quite the alien being. On the satellite dishes, when they jump on the satellite dish, I would say E.T.'s trying to phone home. Some of the pullets didn't care much for those alien beings, but all pretty much got along well. Then when the pullets were 10 months old, we got a barred rock male the same age as they were, and after his quarantine period, he was put in with our hens. Just as the guineas approached maturity and laying age. That's when the fun began. Guineas can be brutal to chickens, especially roosters for some reason, and ours were. Guineas have even been known to kill roosters on rare occasions. It began when my alpha male lavender guinea cock dodger rammed one of my Rhode Island red hens. No warning, just a random attack. Then he would attack all 3 red hens. No others, just the red ones. Then the other 3 guineas would attack all the red hens at the same time. The poor girls began hiding in the nest at times to avoid them. Guineas attacked by body slamming their victims from all sides, very unlike chicken battles. Then they started in on my new rooster. At first he handled Dodger very well, but then Dodger ran Hawkeye into the woods alone. And that was pretty much where the line was drawn. We made the decision then to rehome all 4 guineas and keep our chickens. So, if they had gotten along with the chickens, they would still be here. Some people don't seem to have that much trouble. I'm not sure. It may be their setup. It could be individual birds. I'm not sure what that is. Maybe they have more guineas. So would I do this again? Well, our mistake was we had the number of chickens to the number of guineas was too close. You need enough guineas for them to form their own society, and our coop was just probably not quite large enough for them to have the room to get away from the chickens. I would love them again in the future, but we will have more of them, at least a dozen to 20, and they will have their own shelters. So I hope that some of this helps you decide if you want to get guineas or not. If you have any questions, leave in the comments below, and hope you enjoyed some of the pictures. Bye-bye.